Hey everybody, I am making this video message for all couples. If you are a married couple or if you are a couple that is exclusive with each other, this video is definitely for you. I see many couples and I totally understand that when you are in a relationship with someone, you are going to share things with them. You're going to talk to them. You're going to pass your opinion about different things, people, and places. You are going to reveal secrets. Couples do this all the time, and you don't have to apologize for it. One way that married couples bond, or boyfriend and girlfriend, they bond by sharing things with each other. Unfortunately, when certain couples or one particular person in the relationship begins to share during pillow talk time, they will sometimes talk about their friend. So in my video message today, I want to tell you guys something. You have to be very careful when you begin to discuss your friend and their personal business with your spouse or significant other. And you have to also be careful going and telling your spouse about a falling out you may have had with one of your friends. And I tell you guys to be careful with this because when you fall out with a friend or you all have a disagreement, you get over that. You make up with the friend, you call them, you guys bury the hatchet, and you continue with the friendship. But the way you may have depicted that friend to your wife or to your husband, or the way you depicted your boyfriend or your friend to your boyfriend or girlfriend, they will still remember that even after you have made up with that particular friend. And I have seen situations where there are celebrations that take place. There are graduations, there are barbecues, there are baby showers. Some of you all may have children that are going away to college and you throw a trunk party. And once the particular friend that you gossip about and badmouth to your spouse or to your boyfriend or girlfriend comes around, your spouse or significant other will act funny towards the friend. And it puts your friend in a very uncomfortable and awkward situation. And so I want you all to understand in this video message, this is why you all cannot do things like this. You don't have to apologize for bonding. You can share things with your spouse. You can share things with your significant other. I know that's what couples do, but I think a line should be drawn and a boundary should be set on how far you go in conversation when you discuss your friends. In my personal opinion, I feel like my friendships with my friends has nothing to do with my spouse or if I had a boyfriend. What I experience with my friends and what I go through with my friends, I don't personally feel like it's the business of my husband or it's the business of my boyfriend, because I know how messy it can become if you are not careful of how far you go in that conversation or how much you share. Some people, they fall out with their friend and their friend cussed them out, or their friend is having a lot of personal issues. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their mortgage. They flunked out of school, or they don't have money for groceries and they're not the best mom or they're not the best father. And a lot of these couples, when they're, like I said, having pillow talk or they're hanging out with each other, they will make that particular friend the topic of conversation. And when the friend come around, see, it becomes a problem when the friend comes on the scene. See, what you discuss, this is what I want you guys to understand. What you discuss with your husband or wife or your significant other is truthfully between you and your spouse or significant other. None of us know what you discuss, and it's not our business, but it becomes a problem. And this is why I'm making this video message, because when your friend steps on the scene, your husband may have in his head something that you told him about your friend, and he looks at her with disgust, or he's irritated by her, or there is tension there. There can be a celebration or a barbecue or a party, as I stated, and your friend is sitting there and the husband is muttering stuff under his breath. Your friend is trying to talk to him. He's ignoring her. Or, your guy comes over to the house, your guy friend, and your wife is looking at him upside his head. She's rolling her eyes. Your friend may have tried to say something to her or crack a joke, and she's just not feeling him. And behind the scenes, some of you all friend may confront you and say, hey, you know what, bro? Your wife was acting kind of funny towards me. Your girlfriend was acting kind of funny. Did I do something? What's up? And you as the spouse or the boyfriend or girlfriend, you will lie and play dumb and act like you don't know what the friend is talking about, when you know that you just gossiped about the friend the night before and told all of their business to your husband or your wife or to your boyfriend or girlfriend. So they have a negative perception of your friend. And when the friend comes around, they don't really want anything to do with them. So in my video message, I want you guys to understand, stop putting your friends, your friend or your friends, stop putting them in these awkward and uncomfortable situations where you make a personal decision to tell their business just because you know you can, or just because you're just a gossiper and this is how you connect and bond with your spouse or your other half. Be careful with that and just stop doing it. You need to be conscientious of how much information you give about your friends. I understand you may go through something with a friend and you're hurt by something they did or said, or they were not supportive of you. So you go to your spouse to talk to them and say, hey, so-and-so did this to me. I'm hurt by that. And your spouse consoles you. They give you advice. And if you are the type of spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend that uplifts the situation and you come back with a positive piece of advice that can nurture and enrich your spouse friendship, God bless you. But I know a lot of couples or people in these type of situations, they are not like that. I know a lot of you all, whatever your wife comes to you about, when it comes to their friend, or they whine and cry about something the friend did or said, see, they're not going to tell you what they do. When they hanging out with their friend, or who they are when they're not in your presence, they're not going to tell you what they do, but they'll come and tell you all the bad things that their friend did and said to them, how they crossed them, how they betrayed them, how they fake, they not solid. And so you'll be believing your spouse, because I understand when you are in a marriage or relationship, you have a lot of influence. There is a certain amount of influence that you as a husband or a wife has over your spouse or over your boyfriend or girlfriend. And so when they come to you, you'll pretty much believe whatever they tell you. But you have to be honest and you have to be truthful. If you played a role in the breakdown or the fallout of you and that friend, and you just feel the need for whatever reason to share it with your husband or your wife, tell the truth. Or if you make up with the friend, tell your husband or your wife, you know what, honey, we're cool. I did go through something with him or her. We talked about it. We prayed about it. We buried the hatchet. We're cool. You don't have to act funny when they come around. Let your spouse know that something has shifted in your relationship with the person that you initially were talking about to them. Let your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend know that. That is what you guys' homework is. I want you guys to be, like I said, aware of how far you go in conversations with your significant other or your spouse when you are making reference to your friend. Your friend should never be in a situation where you invite them to your house and they're sitting down eating dinner with you, and your husband or wife is looking at them upside their head and making them uncomfortable, or they feel uneasy about something, or your kids is looking at them upside their head. Your friends should never be put in a situation or a position where they come somewhere and they're trying to have a light conversation with your significant other or your spouse, and they're getting ignored because your spouse has in their head a story you told them about that friend. Or you reveal to them some of your friends' personal struggles and demons that they fight. You guys, be aware of what you're doing. And again, like I said, you don't have to apologize. I know this is how couples bond, but in my personal opinion, my relationships with my friends are between me and my friends. If I fall out with my friends, I go to my friends directly. If there is some advice that I would feel I needed from my spouse or from my significant other, even in that, I'm still going to be limited in how much information I give them. And if I have a friend that is a mess, because we all have a friend that needs a lot of prayer, needs a lot of help, they're not at a certain level yet, and their background and upbringing plays a part in that. What I'm telling you guys is, even in that, you have to be careful what you tell your spouse or your significant other about them, because you don't want these people to have a negative perception of them or a negative image of them, and it causes them to treat them a certain kind of way, and then in turn that puts your friend in an uncomfortable situation. This is just something I want to put on you all's mind, and this is just something that I want you guys to think about. And thank you guys for tuning in to me. I know I have pissed a lot of you all off this week and last week with my video messages and content. But guess what, guys? I love you. I tell you all the time, I care about your soul. And point blank, and the bottom line here is, if you are mad at me today, you will forgive me in the morning.